individuals often aspire to perceive their world as stable. They desire assurance that the system functions effectively. The displayed figures on screens are assumed to reflect reality. Nonetheless, stability represents the most captivating illusion in human history. It offers safety contingent upon a willful blindness. Consistently, people prioritize comfort over truth. Governments, corporations, and central banks are acutely aware of this fact. They do not require your comprehension of the economy. They simply need your unwavering belief in it. Belief is less expensive than gold and simpler to produce than cash. Throughout history, every empire has thrived on this belief. Citizens of Rome believed in the denarius. Subjects of Britain trusted the pound. Contemporary Americans placed their faith in the dollar. However, no currency, system, or empire has withstood the erosion of its own trust. When that trust dissolves, collapse intrudes not stealthily, but boldly, smiling. For years, we have been assured that our economy is robust. Jobs are plentiful. Markets are strong. Consumer spending appears solid. Yet strength reliant on credit is merely leverage. Leverage always falters under excessive strain. The illusion of stability commences with a solitary lie, repeated until institutionalized. That growth can perpetuate indefinitely. That increased debt leads to greater wealth. That stock market rises equate to national prosperity. However, uncontrolled growth resembles a malignant tumor. Debt beyond limits parallels decay, masquerading as prosperity. This illusion manifests in every record-high news article, in every politician celebrating GDP while ignoring the national deficit, in every household pressing against its limits, labeling itself middle class. Stability seems permanent due to its subtle nature. No explosion or alarming sirens accompany it. Only small concessions accumulate until the foundation gives way. In 1929, that illusion faded within 1 week. In 2008, it crumbled over a weekend. In 2020, it frayed following a single press conference. Each incident prompted experts to declare such events were unpredictable. Yet the indicators had been evident long before the downfall. We generate currency at a pace surpassing value creation. We produce digital assets more rapidly than food supply. We inflate living standards faster than real wealth accumulates. And each moment to serve imbalance is marketed as innovation. The illusion of stability relies on diversion. Individuals must remain occupied, pursuing trends, devices, and fleeting pleasures. They need to feel informed, while simultaneously perplexed. This strategy ensures a collapsing structure remains upright, entertaining the audience long enough to complete the performance. Meanwhile, debt escalates beyond 30 trillion. Interest obligations dominate the budget. Banks depend on artificial liquidity. And the typical individual refers to this as the new normal. Normalcy does not imply healthiness. Normal denotes prevalence. This common behavior precipitated this crisis. Consider, if the system is stable, why necessitate is it continuous intervention? Why do markets falter once central banks cease monetary expansion? Why does each soft landing require yet another round of emergency expenditures? Because the system lacks the capacity for self-sustenance. It seeks to maintain confidence. Confidence constitutes the currency that binds the illusion. Loss of it results in total devastation. When consumers cease to believe in the dollar's value, they spend impulsively. When investors dismiss the notion of profit, they liquidate assets promptly. When nations lose faith in leadership, they fragment rapidly. Collapse represents a mere reversal of belief. It signifies the collective acknowledgement that faith was misplaced. We witnessed this in Weimar, Germany, where wheelbarrows transported marks worth less than the wheel's material. This was evident in Argentina, where savings vanished instantaneously. Similarly, we observed it in Venezuela, where countless believers could not purchase a loaf of bread. Every nation considered itself exceptional until reality intervened. America is not insulated from mathematical principles. No empire has ever enjoyed such immunity. The Federal Reserve may issue dollars, yet it cannot fabricate trust. Congress can elevate limits, but not productivity. Corporations can manipulate profits, but cannot indefinitely distort reality. Each remedy merely prolongs failure. The further this extension, the more severe the eventual rupture. Systems deteriorate not through suddenness, but gradual decay. Then, one event disrupts the status quo. A conflict, a scandal, a fiscal default. Something minor reveals the underlying fragility. Subsequently, panic supplants confidence and momentum reverses course. Markets decline as they function as reflections. They do not depict value, they mirror emotions. When fear drowns out greed, mirrors disintegrate. What follows? The same outcome that has perpetually transpired. The adaptable thrive. The unprepared endure hardship. The powerful acquire discounted assets. While the public scrutinizes screens, the affluent observe cycles. They perceive collapse not as demise, but as an opportunity. Assets shift ownership. Consolidation of ownership occurs. Empires do not disappear. They are acquired. This constitutes the genuine illusion, perceiving collapse as finality. It is not. It represents a reset for those ready to engage. To navigate the forthcoming reset, think like its designers. Comprehend leverage. Monitor liquidity. Observe the actions of influential figures rather than their rhetoric. They embrace hard assets in an era of easy money. They transition into cash when inflation appears remote. They operate discreetly while the crowd expresses disarray. By the time the crash transpires, they possess the future. For the rest, survival hinges on recognizing the illusion accurately. This necessitates accepting discomfort instead of denial. It calls for preparation prior to being compelled. It demands comprehension that safety is merely marketing language. No investment is entirely safe, only risks deemed intelligent. No job is truly stable, only demands that fluctuate. No empire endures indefinitely, only cyclical patterns with fresh symbols. The illusion of stability assures you that the government will resolve issues. Reality suggests that governments often exacerbate the very problems. The illusion proposes technology as a savior. Reality reveals that technology hastens collapse by eliminating resistance. Every shortcut incurs hidden costs. Every comfort conceals an expense. And every illusion persists only as long as applause continues. When the applause ceases, when inquiries arise, the illusion fractures. that is when truth escapes. That is when the system scrambles to conceal its weaknesses. Then, the wise quietly detach and allow the inevitable to unfold. The dissolution of trust transcends as economic concerns. It encompasses moral implications. When deceit becomes lucrative, integrity becomes an act of rebellion. In an environment where saving invites penalty, spending transforms into compulsion. When effort fails to yield commensurate rewards, motivation wanes entirely. This marks the true demise of nations, not when currency depletes, but when spirit diminishes. However, not everyone perceives collapse as finality. For some, it constitutes the blank slate they have awaited. Destruction fosters opportunities for recalibration. True wealth resides in the rebuilding phase. The inquiry is not if stability will wane. It focuses on when it will occur and whether you shall be among the builders or those in need. Thus prepare. Retain assets that require no external authorization. Establish income sources that require no formal sanction. And remember, the system safeguards itself, not individual interests. When the illusion ultimately fades, it shall not be a cacophony. It will manifest subtly. Banks will temporarily suspend withdrawals. Digital entities will revise protocols. Individuals will anticipate a return to normalcy, oblivious to its departure. Those who detect shifts early will remain composed. They will adapt. They will prioritize liquidity, eliminate debts, and outpace bureaucratic responses. This strategy defines how survivors navigate collapses, not through fear, but with foresight. For the illusion of stability does not serve to protect, it sedates. It conveys that the storm shall pass, while discreetly marketing your umbrella. And upon the onset of rain, the purveyors have vanished, profiting from your bewilderment. Collapses are beyond your control. However, preparedness is within your grasp when it approaches. Preparation epitomizes self-respect, not paranoia. The next deception will be just as convincing as the current. New slogans, new leaders, new currencies, yet the same narrative. But you will possess greater awareness. You will recognize recurring patterns. You will detect the fissures prior to the masses. While others pray for stability, you will already be fortifying your strength. This represents how one prevails when the illusion dissipates by deliberately choosing not to inhabit it.